Hey there, everybody. What's up? It is the CBC Wizdumb Hour, number 181 for whatever, Tuesday, September 27th, 2022. I'm Steve Witchell in New Orleans. I couldn't remember.
Whatever, man. It's episode 181. That's all that matters. Tony B coming to you from New Jersey. What's happening,
Yes.
world?
I just woke up from a nap, dude. That was one of those naps where you wake up and you don't know what day it is. You don't know what
Epic nap.
you're supposed to be. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. This is like 20 minutes ago. Like, all right. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to do the Wisdom Hour. That's right.
Yeah. The call to wisdom, baby.
Nice notification, he said.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? If you're joining us here live, come on in and say hello. Tell us where you're from. We will say hello back, and we will come up with some sort of conversation, witty or otherwise.
Yes. Witty or unwitty?
Stuart hates pages that go live. Thank you, Stuart. Thanks for letting us know.
Good to know. For anyone out there asking.
Sanford's back. He said, "What's up,
Texas.
people?"
What's up?
In Texas, Sharna, West Virginia, Chad in PA, Pennsylvania. Cool. I'm gonna turn you up a little bit here.
Can you hear me, Steve?
I can hear you now, loud and clear.
All right. Loud and clear. So I'll refrain from getting too close to the mic and blowing you up
Yes, thank you.
unless it's completely necessary.
It's never necessary.
Is that too loud or is that good?
Russ said that's because I smoked before my nap. I did not. I actually did not. I smoked
That
after.
would make him wiser when he woke up. He'd be like, wow, I got wisdom hour, man. You wouldn't even need an alarm clock at that point. You would just wake up, be ready to
Right.
go.
Tammy's in the Finger Lakes region of New York State.
Awesome, Tammy. Tin Barn Brewery is up there.
I didn't know that. Panhandle, Florida is where Russ is.
Is he bracing for a hurricane?
I don't think the Panhandle's getting the hurricane.
No.
The western portion of the coast, like the Gulf Coast area, is going to get hit. And they're going to get hit, boy. It's Category 4. It's going to be by the time it gets
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
I dealt with it last year with Hurricane Ida.
Yep.
Yeah, Ida here in August. It was earlier last year, and it was 2 weeks of no power. So get ready for that.
Yeah.
Mike Schultz is here. He said we're looking good. Mike's always looking good.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Pork Tornadoes, killing
Yep.
it out there. If you don't know about that band, go check them out. Pork Tornadoes.
Not to be confused with Pork Hurricanes.
One of the best in the cover band world.
Yeah.
Desiree. Oh, Desiree is in Minnesota.
McLeod, Minnesota.
I love that name. I like that Neil Diamond song even.
Hmm.
You know, are you familiar with it?
Have you played it with any of your bands?
I never
You
have.
guys covered on Bourbon Street?
James is in Arkansas. No.
In
The
the
only
river.
thing we would ever do is Sweet Caroline.
It's kind of standard fare.
Sheila went to Florida for the hurricane, I guess. She's from Michigan.
Put it in Florida today for the hurricane party.
But she's
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Mary said hello again. So Mary's back. Nice to see you. Australia is Sienna. It's
Awesome.
Wednesday
Indeed, it is, Steve.
in Australia.
And
Russ
what
said
better time for wisdom than a Wisdom Wednesday?
Right. Wisdom Wednesday. Very good, Tony.
Yes, of course.
Uh,
Wisdom
Sandy's-
Wednesday.
Sandy's from Nova Scotia. Flagstaff is where Diana's, Arizona. Yo, Eric. What's up, handsome?
Yep. Good crowd tonight, man. Good crowd.
Jewel in California.
Guess your notifications went out, Steve. No algorithms tonight.
California Martina said, no one from California here when I just said Jewel from California.
Yeah. So now you got Jewel from California and you
Randall in
got.
Pensacola.
Yep.
Eric said he would rather gnaw his arm off the socket than play Sweet Caroline. And I don't
Yet it always creeps in. So you must have a lot of bite marks on your shirts and stuff there.
I don't understand that. It's a great song and the crowd loves it. Why would you
I think
not
because
want
it's
to play
just
it?
it's just one of those songs, Steve, where yes, the crowd loves it and it's enjoyed by everyone, but it's just uh, after you've played it literally 1,000 times,
Mm-hmm.
it's I think it loses its allure to those performing it.
Not to me.
Not to me either. I always have a good time playing good Sweet Caroline.
I do too.
So
Because
good, so good, Steve.
I love it because I get to sing it too, and that's definitely my range.
There you
the
go.
Neil Diamond, and yeah, the crowd participation aspect of it, I love,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I do the bop 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 part because
yes,
it's in my
of
range.
course.
You know, it's easier.
It's not what you like. It's
Ding
the
ding ding,
consumer.
as Joe. Yeah.
All right, so I didn't pick a topic today, but as always, Tony and I will talk about our gigging experiences over last week or musical
course.
experiences or whatever over last week. And then you guys can come up with a topic, whatever you guys want to talk about. Questions, comments, something to riff on, let us know, and you will supply the material for the hour. Well, we'll supply some of it, but you supply the ideas. Because I just, like I said, just woke up. I got no ideas.
Yeah, we got all kinds of ideas.
But-
Don't be tricked or try to be fooled.
Yes. But Rick Lawrence said, I have my first audition for a cover band if I can make it. Been practicing from the audition all day on his Les Paul Standard 60s from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 12 hours of solid practice.
Good for you, Rick.
Good for you, Rick.
That's being prepared, man.
Now, I don't understand the if I can make it part. Are you having trouble with transportation getting to the audition?
Yeah.
Or is it a scheduling conflict, maybe? Tell us, Rick. Tell us more. We will try to impart some wisdom to you.
Yeah, I mean, 12 hours of practice is dedicated. You know, you're on a mission there, so definitely want to make sure you see that through to where you can reap the fruits of that effort.
Dan said, talk about cargo shorts and iPads. Ha ha, Dan. Ha ha. But you know what? I'm gonna talk about
We're going to
iPads.
talk about sandals too.
I'm
Cargo
gonna.
shorts and sandals.
I planned on talking about iPads. So
What
there.
about iPad Pro, the ultra big one? It's like, it's like a dinner tray. What about those? Are those cool? Can you use those?
Yeah, sure. Grace is in Covington, Georgia.
iPads
okay.
and cargo shorts, baby.
Okay, so he said he doesn't have transportation. He is a
Oh.
disabled veteran. So,
Well, thank you for
anybody
your
out there,
service,
Rick, tell us where you're from.
See if we can't get him help getting a ride to his audition.
Tell us where you are from. Be precise, and we're going to help you right now during the hour. Get a way for you to arrive at your audition.
Yes.
That's going to be our mission, Tony, for
Well-
this hour.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know that the first thing we need to know is where's the audition at, and when is it,
Where is it at?
and when.
Yeah, where's it at? Where does he live? How far away is he from it? Yeah, what time is it? What
I mean, if
day
he
is it?
shedded for 12 hours today, it might be tomorrow.
It might be. So we need some more info, Rick. But
Yes.
we're here to hook you up.
Absolutely.
So I didn't mention we are streaming live on the Cover Band Central Facebook page, Cover Band Central Facebook group, and the Cover Band Central YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link is in the description. Click that link and hit subscribe, and you'll be notified for stuff when we go live.
Unless you
And
don't like live pages.
like
Live
that guy.
streams.
Yeah.
Like that guy previously.
Also, you can give stars during this broadcast if you're watching on the
Yeah.
Cover Band Central Facebook page. Stars are a way of giving a digital gift during a live broadcast. We happily accept them, and it is a great way for you to give back since we do all this stuff for free. 1 star equals 1 cent, so you could buy them in packs and give them away. That's what they're for. So we appreciate any stars that are thrown
Yeah.
our way during this broadcast.
And if you send at least 2 stars, then you can say you gave you 2 cents worth on Wisdom Hour.
That's right.
Ba-doom, psh.
Nell liked and shared. She said, "Go dear."
Awesome. Thanks.
Oh, that's a different person. Grace said,
Grace
"Go dear."
Monroe. Yes.
Okay, so Rick said he's in Maytown, Pennsylvania, around Lancaster. He has to get to Adamstown Pool for a pickup tomorrow around 3 to 4. All right, so how far is Adamstown
Yeah, from Maytown.
from Maytown?
Right, is
Somebody
that-
want to map quest that?
Is that a half an hour event? Is that an hour event?
And where in Pennsylvania? Is Lancaster eastern Pennsylvania? Northern? Southern? Western? I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure.
Still need some more info, Rick.
Centralized.
We gotta get this down to the details of distance. What you need? Do you need a van to transport your thing, or is a car good enough? Okay, here we go. He's giving us more info. 30 minutes ish. His cousin said he might be able to do it. There you go.
Nice.
Let's get your cousin on the horn, Rick. and talk him into it.
Yeah, let's get your husband on with let's get your cousin in on Wisdom Hour here. South Central
So
Eastern. There you go.
that's a lot of places. South, Central, and Eastern.
Yes, so it's a little bit south of probably Philly, and it's centralized and it's east.
Okay. I don't know anybody that lives there, but if anybody is
I
from
don't
South
either.
Central Eastern Pennsylvania, let's hook up Rick.
Yeah,
Yes, more info.
yeah.
Desiree said more. See, Desiree's looking. She's looking to help out. Well, Chad said I would love to be in a good cover original band, but I live in a small town of Roulette, Pennsylvania. No musicians. Chad, how far are you from Rick? Because he's going to audition tomorrow.
Yeah, don't know
Pennsylvania,
yeah,
it's a big state.
Pennsylvania's giant, so he could be hours and hours away. But it looks like from Chad Jones's photo there that he's a drummer,
It
and he
does.
looks like he's at a gig somewhere. So
You're welcome,
awesome.
Rick.
You got it, Rick.
Good luck at your audition.
No. Yeah,
Let
good
us
luck,
know
man.
how it goes.
Have
Donna's-
fun, man. Enjoy it.
Yes.
Donna, hello. What's
Donna's
up?
back. Chad's in North PA, so he's the other place. South
Right.
Central Eastern was Rick, and
He's
Chad
north.
is North. So, oh, Desiree works in transportation in Minnesota, so it's too bad she's not in Pennsylvania.
Can't arrange for a ride for him across the country there.
Jose's shout out watching from the Philippines.
He definitely can't help.
Okay, good, Chad. He said he'll get a hold of Rick.
That was the old band. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I mean, he's looking for a band, but he has no one to jam with. I mean, that's an interesting situation, right? Because
No musicians, he said. How is that
no
possible?
musicians. I don't know. Unless he's in a real rural area, maybe there is no musicians nearby. You know?
Well, again, we need some more information.
Yes, we would. And we'd
I
be
would like
happy
to
try help.
know what avenues he's tried so far. Has he looked on Craigslist or on Facebook for something nearby? Because Tony and I can definitely give you some tips here. Because there's definitely musicians everywhere. You're just not looking in the right place.
Or you just don't know that they exist yet. Like you could set your drums up outside with a PA if you have it, and just start playing loudly into the atmosphere and see who within listening distance might come knocking at your door and be like, "Hey, you know,
Cats in Connecticut. Yeah,
heard you
yeah,
banging out that groove, man. I want to jam."
yeah. Chad, give us some more info. Let's talk about this. This is a fun topic. To how to find musicians when there's no musicians.
To be found anywhere,
Yeah, you go outside, you yell, musicians,
and there's none.
musicians, and
there's
nobody
none.
answers.
Nobody.
There's no musicians, so there's got to be another better way to find them. I think there's
I
got to
think
be a
today's
couple.
technology. There's got to be at least one or two.
Couple, yeah,
That we're not thinking
I
of.
think. Because I've been in situations too where I felt like there was nobody around, but I ended up finding them, or they found me.
Mm-hmm.
Cats that go to a high school, that may or may not be a good idea. You can't just go to a high school. Like if you're not a high school student and you don't work there.
Pretend like you are, like going back to school. Just go there and be like, "Hey, man, I just moved to town. I want to get back and sign
That's
up
a
for
good-
school." And then you go and you sign up for high school, and you're already established in life, so it really doesn't matter if you do well, right? So you're just there to hang out, get a passing grade. But while you're there, you could definitely scout for talent, amongst the ranks there. Hey, man, you guys in the band? Anybody who plays in the band?
That's a good premise for a movie, I think. Kind of like, like a back to school thing, but it's covert. It's somebody who's older than a high school student, but they really want to play in a band, and the only thing they can think of is to go back to
high
school
as a student, a fake student,
and
then
play in the high school band.
Yeah, and then find musicians from that to then start another band with.
And he goes in and plays in the high school band,
Yeah.
and that's where he's going to meet the girl in the high school band. But then he's going to move on to the rock band. No, Sarah, I really want to play rock. That's what I was born for. These guys, and she'll be like, but those guys are dirty and they party, and you can't go. We. Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's like, my wife might not like that, and my kids will probably blow my cover, but I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna do it. Still gonna try.
We
Still
got to
gonna
rate
go
this
for it.
movie.
You definitely gotta write.
That's an easy movie. That's like any of those formulated.
That's like
Adam
a Rodney Dangerfield
Sandler,
movie.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm thinking more like the Adam Sandler or Judd
No, but
Apatow
remember
kind
Rodney
of.
Dangerfield went back to school and did exactly
Yes.
that.
Well, yeah, but
He
he
wasn't,
didn't do it. He was very old.
yeah, and
But
he wasn't trying to pretend like he was undercover, and he definitely wasn't looking for a band.
right, we want somebody who's pretending they're
This is
undercover,
covert, right?
and
And
they're.
maybe if he wants to do it, we could somehow make it part of the Wisdom Hour and get him like a body cam, and he could like feed us some experiences from his high school days.
I like it.
Yeah, we'll talk afterwards, Steve. We
Yeah,
got
see,
to talk
get Vince Vaughn on the phone. We don't even need Vince Vaughn.
we have a movie without Vince Vaughn. We're good, but he'd fit into that movie too. He could be like the sidekick who tries to convince him that it's a good idea to do this.
Yes. Well, he's the because he's older now, so he's the dad. He's the kid's dad, right?
Yeah, telling the kids
Vince
probably not a
Vaughn's in
good
it, but
idea,
he's
and then
the
the kid's
kid's dad,
saying, "But I want to follow my dream, Dad, and play in a band. It's
right?
the only way I can figure out how to do it.
And he's
I'm
like, "You got
doing
to
it."
come down and work at the factory,
That's right.
like Pop did and Grandpop did and
Right.
great
This is
great
your
Grandpop
destiny.
did."
This is your destiny. And the
And
kid's
he's like,
saying, "But no, Dad, I want to play music."
"I want to rock, Dad." Well, you're not rocking in that shitty high school band with the
You'll
with the.
see. I'll show you.
We got a movie right here. It's
Then you
perfect.
fast forward to like a cut in the movie where he is like famous and on stage, and then you go back to the beginnings and show how he got there. I like it, Steve.
Yeah, you want to do it that way, like a flashback thing, or you want to just do it straight?
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
We'll,
Gotta
we'll
come up
put
with a good name too.
we'll put it all on the board, and we'll see what works. Some people are watching us now, like, what the hell are these guys talking
Yeah,
about?
what is going
Or
on?
somebody's tuning in right now, like,
Yeah, like this is
what?
not what I
What,
get
what
myself
is that
into. This is
conversation about?
ridiculousness.
No wonder he didn't put a topic in the
Much
description.
like that one time that girl called in, remember? And she's like, "What is wisdom?" And I explained it to her. She's like, "You guys are whack."
You
She
guys are
bit-
whack. The
Guys are
movie
whack.
culminates with them winning the Battle of Bands, but we can't do that because School of Rock did that. School of
Yes.
Rock, the end of that was a Battle of the Bands thing, and of course that was a
So it culminates in them losing the battle of the bands, but getting a record deal because they're so much better.
no record deals. What are you from
Yeah.
1980?
Well,
Two?
that's the kinds of you're making. I mean, I don't think this movie would fly in modern day. Who's going back to school in 2022 trying to be a kid when you're old? Everyone would be like, "Hey, Grandpa, you're not fooling anybody. Beat it."
Well, yeah, I'm saying we got it. We got to cast an actor that's like 22 or 23, like that much past high school age, but still could pass for maybe a high school senior.
Yeah. Well, we never asked that gentleman from Roulette how old he is. So going
Right.
back to high school may not be an option.
All right. Well, we can dream.
Unless he goes back as the cool teacher or principal and then turns it into like school, you know?
Right. Where are we from? I'm from New Jersey, but I live in New Orleans.
And I am from New Jersey and I live in New Jersey.
Thanks for asking. Miles Teller does not look young enough still. He does not. He did
Ben
his
Stiller,
kid
maybe.
movie. Yeah, he did his kid movie like 10 years ago when he was a high school student.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be like 10 years ago. Marianne's in Ireland. Hello, Marianne. Metal Lords. Oh, you know what? I saw. Ah, damn it. Maybe that's why I have the idea. I saw the trailer for that. That's a movie on Netflix called Metal Lords that are kids they're doing a metal band. You know what? That's almost the premise of what I was just saying. But they are actually kids. They're not trying to fool anybody, and the kid wants to put together a metal band. The dad's like, "No, you can't do that. Metal's the devil's music or something." I just saw the trailer.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't. Maybe that's why I'm like all gung ho about this.
Now we're talking
idea.
about taking an
I just
older
saw that
guy
trailer.
and making him look young enough to be able to go back to school and try to pull it off.
Right.
But anyway,
Okay.
that's
Story of Vanville. I never saw that. Did you see that?
no.
I heard that was really good to watch, and it's very sad to watch the whole thing. I've never
Really?
seen it. I'd like to see it
I'll
though.
have to look into that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 36. See, that's a little too old for a high school student.
Maybe not though. If he's a young looking 36,
He's not.
you don't know.
Ron wants to know what that kid is behind you. He's got a drum set in his avatar with the earth.
So the kit directly behind me, Ron, is a Gretsch Renowned 57 with some other Gretsch concert toms over here these guys, these three. But I'll move out of the way so you can see the whole kit.
Very nice. One,
And then
two, three,
behind
four,
that
five,
is
six
a
tons.
behind that is a Yamaha Power Recording Custom, 80s vintage.
Hi, Deborah.
What's up?
Deborah's back.
So yeah, we got lots of drums over here.
So it's pretty.
Plenty to choose from.
Yeah,
Play.
it says Facebook user because if you're in the group, you need to click the link. Let StreamYard show your name because we're broadcasting on StreamYard. They like your drum kit. He said he plays a 70s and 80s Scratch USA.
Yeah, there it is.
Da, da, in powder blue.
It's actually Motor City blue, but it's like a robin's egg blue for that
Robin's
vintage
egg.
look. Yes, and they are maple, so they are a little darker. My Yamahas are birch. They're a little bit more warm and bright. These are a little bit darker sounding, but I still like them.
I like him too.
Good movie. You surprised at
He's
that.
talking about Metal Lords. So,
Yeah.
I got to watch that.
Is that a
I
movie
saved
or a
it.
series?
It's a
Metal
movie.
Lords
I believe it's a movie. Because I saved it. I was browsing through Netflix and I saw the trailer for that, and it looked pretty good.
Yeah, because Marianne was talking about Story of Anvil, so I wasn't sure if.
Story of Anvil's a
Referring to
different one. That came out quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And that was about the band Anvil and their
Trials and tribulations to get to where
their
they were.
story.
Yeah.
That's why it's called the story of Anvil.
Oh, really? I thought they were telling stories about
Oh,
Anvil.
maybe that's it.
You know,
Maybe they're telling stories.
I don't know how many stories there are about anvils, but there's probably a few.
Well, there's the ones with the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
Yes, this is true. Acme, that's big.
The Acme Anvil.
They produced a lot of anvils. Yep.
They did, and they delivered them quickly.
Very.
This was before Amazon, before the drones and everything.
Yeah.
They would just, Wile E. Coyote, I don't even know, he didn't even have a computer. I don't know how he ordered that stuff. Do you?
I don't know how he paid for it, but it always came fast.
He didn't-
And it was like,
I don't know. He didn't have
rockets.
pockets.
He had rockets, all kinds of stuff, man. It's like, man, Amazon, maybe that's where they got the idea from.
Maybe. Yeah, because
I don't
where
think
did
they
he keep
shipped
it?
rockets yet, or high explosives. That was always a big thing, too.
High explosives.
Get some
Just
dynamite.
deliver. Yeah, just a coyote can just, with no money, because he has no pockets, can just deliver.
A giant rocket that you can ride on light with a match and have
Right.
dynamite and explosives with you, or giant slingshots. There's all kinds of stuff in the catalog.
Giant slingshots.
You would
yeah.
know if you actually perused it.
I have to, yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
need some good weapons, and you need them fast. You get the Acme company.
If you need weapons and you need them fast,
You need them fast.
well, 1-800
yeah.
Wiley Acme.
And they'll work, but you'll just be very inept at operating them and
Potentially.
completing your mission.
No instructions or anything required either.
That's right.
But Steve, we digress. Let's talk about
comes in a wooden box.
Let's talk about the topic that's on everybody's mind right now.
What
Was
is
the 11 set record established?
it? It was. It was. And
So, Steve, for those of who don't know, those of our listening audience who are not maybe 100% sure what we're talking about, could you fill us in on what that means?
I thought you were going to do it.
Oh, I can do it too, though. Okay,
You set it up. You were setting it up for me. Okay, I got
set it
you.
up for you, man. Come on,
All right.
get me conversation here. I want to get you involved in the topics here.
Thanks, buddy.
So, Steve had previously played doubles where he played a total of 10 sets of music in the course of a day, which is a lot of music.
Mm-hmm.
So this past Wisdom Hour last week, we talked about the opportunity Steve was going to have to play this past weekend and potentially do 11 sets and break his own record of 10 sets previously.
Yes.
So that's what I was teeing him up for. So, Steve, tell us how
Good evening.
your 11 sets went.
Yes. As
Run us
Tony
through the
said,
day.
I've played the longest.
Hang on, run us through the differences too between daytime set versus nighttime set, and then
I
also,
will.
how you were able to navigate through that.
I will. We got 25 minutes left.
We're not taking up 25 minutes.
Or
You got
35 minutes
You got
left.
about 5 minutes to recap.
We got 35 minutes. Yes. No, I'll fill up a lot of this stuff. But yeah, as Tony said before, the most I ever played was 10 sets. It wasn't a day-night thing. That was on a Fat Tuesday during Mardi Gras where I played 10 sets, and that was doubles. It was 2 sets and then a break, 2 sets of break, 2 sets of break until we hit 10. And 2 sets is an hour and a half. Sets in New Orleans, that's how they count them. 45 minutes is a set. And we generally do more than one set in a row. So what my band does on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Bourbon Bandstand on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, starting at 2 p.m., is we do 3 sets, take a half-hour break, and then do 2 sets, and finish at 6:15. 5 sets. But I was asked to, on Friday, play with the night band. And they do...
Do they dress up in armor?
They do 6 sets and 3 sets with a break, 3 sets and then a half-hour break, and then 3 sets. They didn't, and maybe because I didn't bring my armor, so maybe they were just trying to not make me look silly on stage. I'm the only one with no
I don't know.
armor.
I think you would have got the memo. Maybe they just decided not to do it that night. But anyway.
Supersets. Superset Steve is what they were calling me.
SSS.
So yeah, it was my first work day of the week, Friday, and I knew going in that it was going to be a long day. I made sandwiches, and
Packed cooler, came prepared.
I did. I packed a cooler, brought a couple beers, couple waters, some sandwiches. Prepared for the day. I felt like I was, a little school kid going. Guys,
the night band setting up. Steve's in the corner, breaking out a sandwich out of his little cooler, having a little drink, sitting in the back with his white bread with the crust cut off. Nice.
Exactly.
Those guys are like, "What are you doing?" Like, "What are you doing?" I'm eating a peanut butter sandwich. I'm ready to play. I've been here all day. You're just getting here now. Don't act like you own the place. I've been here hours.
Right. My baloney has a first name.
That's
it's
right.
O-S-C-A-R.
And it's SCRAM, so beat it.
That's funny.
Then the guy's like, "Oh yeah, we don't need you anymore for tonight." Like, I wasn't playing with you anyway. I'm just eating before I leave.
Right.
What do you think about that?
It's funny because there at the club there is like a back area and it's dark and there's a little sort of cubby with a cushioned seat that's 3 sides, on the back and on the 2 sides, very small, but where 3 people could sit, and it's very dark, and I could just picture me with my sandwich back there.
And then the guy coming over and giving you a hard time, "Listen, sir, talks a lot. Beat it. Playing with the night band." And he's like, "I am in the night band." And you're like, "Oh, okay."
Right.
Talk to my agent. I'm eating.
So, but anyway, I paced myself energy-wise during the day, knowing I was going to be there all day, and I was fine with it. I was like, okay. I'm here till midnight. It's good. So 7 to midnight was the night band. And between sets, between bands, I did eat my sandwich and
Drink your beverages.
I drank.
Stretch.
I did not stretch. I did stretch probably the beginning of the day.
How was your back standing all that time?
That was the only issue I had, was the back. The lower back definitely started to hurt during the night set, and I got a chair up on stage, and I didn't really sit on it. I kind of leaned on it a little bit at between songs, and then once we started playing, I would get up. So it wasn't like I was sitting down.
Because 11 sets of music, if you did 45 minutes of sets, over 8 hours.
8 hours and 15 minutes, yes.
Yeah, 8.25 hours.
Yes. Yes, so that's a lot of standing on your feet time and playing your instrument time. I started to feel a little pain in my wrist, my right wrist, but nothing too bad. I just kind of shook my hand, shook it out. But the lower back was hurting. I'm getting old because I get home from that and I'm just like, I could barely move, dude. I'm in slow motion. My hands are on everything, steadying myself. So I don't fall down.
Come on, man. Last time I played 11 sets, I went and ran a marathon the next day. It was nothing.
And then the next day I was feeling the soreness too. But after Saturday, I didn't feel as sore. And then Sunday I felt even better. So
yeah, and I imagine if you played that
conditioned my body
often, yeah, you would become conditioned to that sort of performance demand, you know? So, yeah, on the back. How did you feel the next day?
Facebook user, in the description of this thing, there's a link that says, if you're watching, if you want to have your name, click this link for StreamYard. But you could still be Blank Music Lady if you want. That's fine.
Sure.
What was
So
your?
wait, so you got done playing, that was Friday night, right? The marathon?
Yes.
So you got done at midnight.
Deborah asked. Deborah asked, aren't there industry regulations about performance times? I don't know.
Yes, for unionized musicians, there is. You know, like if you play on Broadway or you're in New York City or you're a session cat, there's certain time limits that apply, and that's how you're paid, right? Based on so many hours for a call.
I see in the YouTube link. Okay. Right.
But anyway, so I was going to say the next day you had to be back at the club at what, 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock is when we start. I got to be back by 1.
Okay, so then that means you were done playing at 12.
Mm-hmm.
You probably got home at 1 and fell
Around
asleep
1,
around
yeah.
2-ish or 3-ish.
No, around 1. I was home.
Okay, and then did you go right to sleep though? Were you that tired where you were just able to lay down and be like, boom, out?
Pretty much.
So then you slept until the next day, woke up, and then went back. You weren't playing a double again, so you didn't have to pack a cooler. But then you went back to the club the next day at 1 o'clock. Now that next day set starts. How do you feel?
I felt good.
Cool.
Because I did get I was well rested.
Yeah.
And no, just the psychological aspect of it, knowing, okay, the hard part's over. Now I'm going in and I just have to do this 4 hours or 15 minutes. Pff, piece of cake, you know?
Child's play.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then, and I texted you about it later, this was a highlight of Saturday. So that kind of put me up a bit about it. So we'll tell everybody about that too. Rich Redmond is the drummer for Jason Aldean's band, and Jason Aldean was playing at the Smoothie King Center, which is the big arena here in New Orleans where the basketball teams play and there are concerts. And Jason Aldean happened to be playing Saturday night, and our buddy Steve, who's usually here during our broadcast, and he's not here right now, but is a singer in New Orleans, somebody I know, and he's good friends with Rich. So he hooked up with Rich in the morning, Saturday morning, and he texted me and he said, I'll bring Rich by the club so you guys can meet. Because we had talked about having Rich on our show here, which we're going to do. So you guys can look out for that in the future, near future, hopefully. So he came by before. He said he was going to come by at 1:30. So, and he told me that Saturday mornings, and I was already up. So I was like, okay, I got to get there even earlier, make sure I'm good to go, set up, so when they get there, I can just, chat with them and not have to do anything else. So I did get there. I got to the club like 12:30, I think, on Saturday, and nobody's there. It's dark. I the backside entrance, come in, and there's no lights on, no keys on. All the tables are in the back, and the stools are in the back, and the mats are flung over the railing on the stage. There's nobody there yet. Got set up, and then Rich and Steve arrived, and another guy that was with them, this guy Travis, who also has a podcast, and I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm going to. Maybe we'll have him on here too. And yeah, chatted with Rich. Nice guy, a lot of energy. And
high energy dude, great player.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have him on.
So we chatted and we talked about having him on here. And I told him about you, and I said, if I do an interview with you and Tony's not around, Tony's going to kill me. So we got to make sure it's like a wisdom hour. And I told him when we do it, and he said that he'll work it out. So I might have to keep nudging him and reminding him, but we'll schedule something soon. So they hung out. We chatted for like 15 minutes, and they left. Then we started our set, and then they came back by. They went to get some lunch, and they came back by into the club like an hour into our set maybe. And as soon as I saw Rich, I was like, come on, you want to get up and play? And he said, yeah. So he got up and
what did he play?
We did Honky Tonk Women and Hurt So Good by John Mellencamp.
There you go.
And we did those two songs because prior to when I first met him, we were talking about like he's looking at the kit that Jason's using, and he goes, "Oh, cowbell for hunky talk women."
There you go. Yeah.
And then we talked about that it's not really a cowbell on the recording; it's a bottle with a
Yes, correct. Yeah, and you got to play it with your left hand because you have to keep time with your right on the hi-hat. We used to play Rhodes. I used to take a bottle, exactly what you just said, and just take an empty bottle, make sure it was empty and clean, even wipe it out with a paper towel or something, and then stick it on top of the hi-hat rod. So I had the bottle stick of the hi-hat, and then you could play that lefty while playing the rest of the kit, and then take the bottle off when you're done.
right. So he got up and played a couple songs.
Cool.
It was great, rock solid player, and he hit hard. And I was like thinking like, okay,
Well,
he's playing in an arena tonight, and he's playing in arena volume right now, which
that's
wasn't
yes.
it wasn't too much. It was, but he was playing with authority.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
he was hitting those drums with like very deliberate.
Yeah, and you have to because when you record and you play at that level, that's how you need to play all the time.
Yeah.
And even when you're in the club. And I think that that's something that everyone should bring. If you're a drummer, right? I can remember my first drum teacher telling me, your job as a drummer is to drive the band. And if you're not driving the band, you're not doing your job. You're not a passenger. You're in the driver's seat all the time. Remember that.
I agree
And
100%.
the energy that the drummer brings sets the whole tone for the band, right? So if I'm
Yes.
back there, rock solid, high energy, pushing, the band is going to feel like that. If I'm back there kind of uncertain and wavery and just kind of playing at a lesser volume with less intensity because we're indoors at a club and someone's saying it's too loud, you know what I mean? It's going to be reflected in that,
Right.
you know?
Um,
And there
yeah.
within lies the challenge, Steve, to play with the intensity of an arena at the volume of a club. That
Right.
is a
Which
hard
he
thing.
did. He obviously he's been doing this for a while, and
Yeah.
he accomplished that. And it was a real treat to play with somebody that's solid and that hits that hard, and I loved it. I don't know if these people are talking to us or talking to each other. Deborah said she remembers when she worked in the broadcast industry. Thinks it was 10 hours between on-air gigs. Yikes.
Yeah, so she'd have to have a 10-hour break, like rest time,
Right.
before you could go back on again.
Right.
I don't think that exists on Bourbon Street, Steve. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that that's even a conversation that's had. Like, hey, man, we played last night, so we're going to take tomorrow off because we need to recover.
No.
Right. I think we
There's
said
no
that they would be like,
recovering.
that's fine. You can take off tomorrow, but you won't be back the next day. There'll be a different band here.
You recover on stage the next day. It's hair of the dog, man.
Yes. Yes. But, it's funny you say that because I remember reading an interview with Steve Smith from Journey, and they said, how's it feel to be back on the road with Journey when he went out with Def Leppard a couple of years ago, And they had the original lineup except for Steve Perry. And he said it's great, but he said it's a whole different, experience than it was when I was in my 20s and 30s, because in the 70s now. So he would say, like, I got to stretch, I got to do yoga, I have to go, I have to sleep, I have to get a good night's rest, I have to be well rested, I have to be hydrated because, you're on stage and like you said, you're bringing it at that level and you're playing with that intensity, but it's not just for one show. You might be doing 200 of those shows.
Right.
So, you said the same thing. You got to pace yourself.
Gotta pace yourself.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to
Lynn
find
said,
out
"Hi."
from Rich what his routines are, how he stays in great shape on the road.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He appears to be in very good shape, and yeah. I hope we're gonna make this happen. He was totally down with it, and he's definitely in our lane with like inspiring, educating. He's all about it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he could talk too, so he'll be a great guest. And so we're gonna make it happen. So look for that, folks, in the future. Rich Redmond, drummer from Jason Aldean's band, is going to be a guest on the Wisdom Hour sometime in the near future. Right. See, I don't like that either. It just sounds like it doesn't. I know you're trying to make it sound like a crowd.
I could really make it sound like a crowd, but then you'll tell me it's just too loud.
Okay.
So again, I'm going against my own constitution of saying you don't bend, right? Like if you're an arena drummer, you bring the arena to the club. So if I'm bringing audience sounds, I should bring them to the mic no matter what.
Right.
Even if it makes you go and be mad at me. At least it'll be authentic.
we need to tell the guy from Pennsylvania about Ron. He's from Vancouver, Canada, and he's been living in Montana for 20 years and can't get over how much music is around there.
Yeah.
So, Montana.
Yeah. But I guess it depends where in Montana or where in Pennsylvania you are. But listen, man, like you said, you gotta look, right? You gotta start looking. Leave no stone unturned.
No stone
If you
unturned.
really want to do it, you'll find a way to do it.
Yeah, he never came back to talk about that, but that is correct. If you really want to play, music, then
Well,
you're going to find a way.
I think he's getting ready for the audition for the movie. That's why he's not on anymore. He was like,
I was a different guy.
"That's a great idea." No, that was the dude from Rowett, Pennsylvania, who couldn't find anyone to play with. We said, "Go back to high school." That's the start of the whole conversation.
Lynn's in North Wales. I'll have to go back and watch the replay. Lynn's in North Wales, United Kingdom.
That was like 5 episodes ago we talked about that. What are you talking about?
Right. Carl's in Sweden.
Stick around,
What's up,
kids.
Carl?
Lots more wisdom where
Carl
that came
Johan.
from. Yes.
It's
Good stuff there. But yeah, so again, just to finish your story, that was, so you were prepared for your 11 gigs, your 11 sets.
Yes.
You brought food, you brought hydration,
Yes.
you brought a little cooler, you were prepared, it was successful,
Yes.
and you've
Yes.
lived to now gig another day.
I have. So it did make the rest of the weekend kind of a breeze, and excuse me,
And here you are.
and here I am. Our one singer did not show up Saturday. Told us he wasn't coming because he partied a little too much on Friday after we were done. So that's something you want to avoid there, kids. If you got to play a bunch of gigs in a row, days in a row,
Well, it gets back to make sure you're dependable, right?
Don't
Make sure you're
party.
dependable and you can bring it.
don't party too much.
No.
Bourbon Street Brill, Grill. What? I don't know what this means.
Bourbon Street,
Brill.
maybe Grill, gig heaven.
It is good, Kevin. It's nice seeing you too. Seeing you too, Merle.
Yes, nice seeing you too.
Martinez, can we ask or submit questions offline? Sure. Why would you want to do that, though?
Maybe he's got something personal he wants to ask you, Steve.
Thanks, Desiree. She heard me burp.
But yes,
I
California.
didn't really burp
Martinez.
as loud as I would, though.
Yeah,
but this
no,
mic
of
is
course
pretty
not.
sensitive.
It is.
So yeah, you can. I mentioned this before, but you can give stars during the broadcast. If you're watching on the Cover Band Central page, that's a way to give a digital gift back to us for doing this for you. Got to balance, James said. Yes, you do. That's why I brought sandwiches and water and beer. Water and beer. So, keep it balanced. Sandwiches. Got to eat.
You got to be prepared, man. Like if you know you're playing an outdoor gig in the sun, right, and it's going to be,
What's up,
blazing
Facebook
heat.
user? Right.
You got to act accordingly. Got to play
Oh,
accordingly.
Martina said didn't know if we could ask them now. Yes, you could ask them now.
Yes, Martinez.
Please,
What do you?
please. But before he does, I got to tell you another thing. And this is for the whole Cover Band Central audience, and this is going to go on for the rest of the year, starting in October. And I'm very excited about that. We have partnered with Hercules, and Hercules makes the best guitar stands in the industry.
Yes.
And they also make iPad holders and phone holders for your mic stands. And they are super cool. I had a meeting with them, 2 meetings with them already, but one today, and we decided that we're going to do a giveaway once a week starting in October of a Hercules item all through the holidays, October, November, December, every week. So for 12 weeks, we're going to give away an item, 12 different items. Yes. So pay it. I don't have the link yet, but next week I'll have it to share here for you to go and sign up for the contest. It'll be a contest. You can join and you can win. And it'll be free to enter the contest. So keep an eye out for that on the Cover Band Central channels. I'll definitely announce it once it's ready to go. But probably start Monday, I'm thinking.
And those of you who aren't real keen on the iPad holder, don't forget you get a free cargo short belt with everyone that you win.
Cargo short belt.
Yes, a specific.
That's
belt
a
made just
great
for cargo
idea.
short. You get a cargo short, pair of cargo shorts, a belt, and an iPad holder.
That's a great idea, the cargo short belt.
Yeah.
But that's maybe forthcoming. But this is imminent with Hercules.
Yes.
They are a great company, and they do make great products. So they're giving out stuff for Cover Band Central for free. So I'm really excited about this. And it will encourage more people to use their tablets on stage, which I know is what everybody wants people to do.
Absolutely, yeah. The more
It's
tablets, the better. Bigger, solid.
solid.
Yeah. See, people like free stuff, Steve,
Oh
especially
yeah,
good
who
free
doesn't?
stuff. It's not like a pen. You know what I mean? It's something like substantial.
Yes. And he said it's rad.
Yeah.
Martinez, where's your question? I was filling time waiting for his question
He's working on it,
by
man.
announcing the contest thing.
Yeah,
Pre announcing. It's a
right.
pre announcement.
It's a pre-announcement for the pre-giveaway
Yeah.
topic that we're going to talk about next week on the pre-show.
James has the 3 guitar Hercules single stand acid. Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
give away. One of the items that we're giving away is the 5 guitar rack.
Ooh,
5 guitars, and
5.
there's an optional expansion kit for it where you can do 10 guitar rack. Yeah,
Julian, bring my 5 guitars to the gig so I can put them on my Hercules 5 guitar stand, so I'm ready to play at any given time.
that's
5
right.
different tunings.
So if you don't already have 5 guitars, go out and get more guitars.
Yeah. But it's funny, Steve, you say that because like I can attest to that too. That it would be great to have a holder of some sort like that because even all the stuff that I have on the wall back here, all those guitars are all in different tunings. You know, my son
Ah,
has them tuned to different things, so he can grab a guitar and then play, in that tuning.
how many are up there? One,
And,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know.
yeah, I think he's got like there's 2 Strats, a Les Paul. He's got 2 Taylor acoustics, a mandolin, a bunch of basses. Um, but yeah, so he's got them all tuned to different things, and then certain tunings require certain strings, right, and certain weight of strings, right. If you want to do certain
Okay, yeah,
tunings, right, so he's done
sure.
that too. He's equipped his guitars with the right strings to accompany that tuning. So that's pretty interesting. I can get more detail on it because I'm not exactly sure what's tuned to what, but it's definitely from an inspirational perspective. When you pick up a guitar in a different tuning, it makes him play a certain way, if that makes sense, right?
Right.
Because he might say, "Hey, Jackson
Okay.
Brown tunes in this open D, not drop D, but open D tuning." That's how he gets these shapes that he plays, right?
Uh,
So he'll figure out the shapes, and then in that tuning, then he'll now have a repertoire of things he can play in that open D tuning because from his vinyl collection, he's been inspired to listen to certain types of music. And then in which
right.
case, he listens to that, and then he gets inspired to say, "Wow, I wonder what kind of tuning that is." Then he figures it out, researches it, and then here we are.
Then you just got to keep buying new guitars. Like for each new tuning you discover, you got to buy a
Correct.
new guitar.
Right.
Dad,
Yeah.
Dad, can I get a new guitar?
Yeah. Go for it, man.
Yes, Dalton, I did see it. It's just a long answer, and that's why I didn't post it. But I want to find it and post it or put it up here. It's just long. It'll cover our faces, but we'll read it. So we were talking about this before, but kind of cover our face. If you have an active music industry that is based with venues that have acts on a continuous schedule, and you have an active union, then in most cases you will have breaks and set performance times. If you are a gig-based industry, most likely not, and would be devised in your contract.
If
Devised
you
in
have
your
a
contract
contract,
if you have
yes.
a contract, right? And basically, I think Tony kind of said that. So
Yeah, he's reiterating that,
yeah,
it's like you said, the rules and regs are standardized by the venues you're playing and the types of music that you're doing.
yeah. So he's back in it. Ricardo is his name, so it's backwards. So we were saying it wrong. Ricardo, I was saying Martinez. So his name is Ricardo. Okay. Just wondering some advice. We don't really play popular music. They play like Tool, so they're playing like kind of
90s
90s
grunge, yeah.
90s grunge. Just wondering what they should do, what avenue they should go. And he went on to say he doesn't see us as a normal bar slash restaurant type band, but they also need to build a fan base.
So I have an excellent answer to that question because,
Please.
yeah, when I was in Eye of the Storm, and then the scene started changing to cover, and we were taking some time off to write, but we still wanted to gig. We said, "Hey, let's start an alter ego and have a cover band." But we're not the typical cover band like you would think, like what you're saying. We're not playing American Girl. We're not playing the popular songs. So to Ricardo's point, we were a heavy grunge. Like our set list was Stone Temple Pilots, Tool, Nine Inch Nails, White Zombie, Soundgarden, System of a Down, Helmet, Jane's Addiction, Rush, Van Halen, Alice in Chains, those types of bands. Heavy music, right? Heavy, aggressive, Tool. We did Tool also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's correct. That music is not gonna be welcome in a lot of your normal gig venues because it's kind of specialized, right?
Right.
A couple times we played and they were said, we will not have you back with that horrible music, you know?
Right.
Meanwhile, we brought 50 people that, to the gig that loved it, but the other 100 people that were the normal bar crowd just weren't digging it.
Right.
So,
It's the devil's music.
yes, correct. So, and listen, and we did it well. Like we sampled everything. If we did Nine Inch Nails, we did a song called Reptile, and the beginning is almost like Money. It's got a camera, like has this like repeated thing. We lifted that right off the record, sampled it, created a loop out of it, played to a click with a sequencer. So when we recreated the songs, they sounded like the record.
All right, but this guy's concern is where do they play?
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So assuming that they play it well, there was a base for it, but a very small percentage versus our peers that were playing in regular, as I would call them, regular cover bands, right? That played popular music. So you're not going to have a wide variety of venues to play, and you're almost going to have to see if you can develop a fan base based on the places that you can play and how to get the word out there that, hey, there's this great band that plays this heavy music. There's definitely an audience for it. And like I said, we found it. It took a little bit of time and a lot of effort because there was very few places to play. But now, if you have some good videos of your band online, you can get that out there too. That spreads the word. It's a different animal today than it was 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, right? Let alone 30 years ago or 40 years ago. So the scene's always changing, but he's definitely going to be challenged to present that. But if you guys do it well, again, it's almost like a tribute band. If you can get with a booking agent that has a Tool tribute band or would look for a Tool tribute band, and you guys are a good, rendition of that, I'm saying that would be that
was good timing there.
Yeah, one avenue. There you go. Yeah, go for a tribute, like a Tool tribute. Exactly. If you can pull it off authentic and you guys are that good where you think it'll sell that way and come across where people would say, wow, I saw this band, they did Tool and it was spot on. It was really good. Then 100%. A tribute type of venue because it's specialized. You're not looking to play bars and club gigs. You'd be playing more venues, right, through a booking agency that would be specific that people would want to come see that sort of tribute band.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's all good. Like, tribute bands, there's a lot more competition, though. I would say with Tool, probably a lot of competition, depending on where you are. And he's in California, so it depends on where you are in California. But I would start more fundamental with this if I were, like, say this was a case study for me, and I got to figure out how do I figure out what to do for this guy. I would find out more specifics about his area, where he is and what clubs are available, what venues are available, who plays there, what kind of music do they play, and what is their following and all that stuff. Definitely the social media aspect of it, you got to be on your game with that. So you have to have a Facebook page, an Instagram, and make sure you're managing that, putting up content if you want a following. He said he wants a following. And the following isn't necessarily just people who come see you live. It's going to be online too.
Absolutely.
And do the research, go out to these places. Maybe it depends on how old you guys are and whatnot, but you can maybe rent a place to play somebody's party, offer your services for a party, find people that are metal fans. If somebody's having a backyard party or something like that, offer your services for that. It doesn't have to be like if I don't think these guys are looking to make money. They probably want to make money, but they're not looking to like, let's do this, so we can make a living.
No, it's not like they're starting like ground zero and like what's the best avenue to approach for them to try to take it to the next level. And I think there's definitely a market for that type of music.
Yeah, right? I wouldn't jump into the tribute thing. Yeah, I would, because it sounds like they want to kind of do a lot of different things. So
Yeah, I mean, if you
But
tribute, then you're strictly that, right, Steve? Like, if you're going to be a
yeah,
Tool tribute band, then you pretty much have to play strictly all Tool songs and try to do them better than anybody else, right?
yeah,
But there's definitely a market for that too. But I think you could also play, like you said, a '90s grunge set with a bunch of Tool and other bands from that thing, and people would be like digging it, you know. And after word of mouth gets around, you advertise a little bit. Hey, we're going to see that band, over at such and such a place on, they're there next Tuesday, right? And you're advertising, and you start to develop your following that way, you know.
right. Yeah, that's another way too, for sure.
But if that's what
Um,
you do, be true to what you do, right? Like, don't try to be something you're not. That's what you guys have invested your time in, and that's what you do. You have to at least give it the effort, right, to see if you can make it successful to
that's
some
cool.
extent.
Yeah, that's some advice from Dalton here. Said he's in California. He noticed that with Psychobilly, I guess that's his band's name. The shows are the caravan style shows that have three or more bands. They were seeing metal bands in metal bands the same. So that's good. Yeah, connect with other bands too. Find out, make friends with other bands and find out what they're doing. And bands will generally be friendly
And
and
Steve, what
help.
better place and
Not
what resource could he go to for that?
and nobody else in his area does '90s grunge. So
Right.
good.
So you
Then
already
you'll be
have
the
the
ones doing
niche.
it.
You already got the niche in there. You
What
just got to
resource?
spread the
Well,
word.
there is something. There's a website called Cover Band Central. It's coverbandcentral.com is the URL. You could go there and sign up for a profile for your band, or both. It is free, and lots more people
Free,
have
free, free.
have been on there and been
Free.
posting on the wall, which I really am excited about, and lots more will
Yes.
be as we proceed with the contest coming up with Hercules starting next week, giving
But it's
away some
always exciting to
shit.
engage musicians on their journeys, right? So Martinez, keep us posted on your progress of what you,
Ricardo.
Ricardo. Oh,
His
that's right,
name's
because he's,
Ricardo.
yes, yeah, no, he's
Yes.
California Martinez Ricardo.
Yes.
So he's CMR. That's what I'm going to.
It's backwards. So
I
he's
understand that,
RMC.
Yeah, RMC, right? Because he, either way, California or California friend. Um,
Nice.
yeah, keep us posted. On your
Yes.
plans. Let us know,
He said
Ricardo,
thank you very much.
what some of the things are that you're doing to promote that.
That's what this is about here,
We're here to help,
folks.
man.
The Wisdom Hour. Tony and I are here to impart some wisdom to you guys. And if you ever want to ask a question or anything, this is a great time to do it when we can kind of riff on it and whatever comes to the top of our heads
And
is
plus, you have the
usually
forum of everyone else that's on the show right now too, to giving feedback as well.
exactly.
So it's not just you and I, Steve, sharing wisdom. We're inspiring others to aspire to impart wisdom to their fellow musicians as well.
We are. Aren't we cool? We are so cool.
Try to be.
We're so cool that you can give stars to too during this
Yeah.
broadcast. Stars are a digital gift. We do this all for free. Everything for Cover Band Central is done basically for free, so you can. That's a way to give back if you appreciate any of what we do. Give some stars, throw them our way. YouTube, make sure you subscribe. The link is in the description. Click that link and click the bell so you know when we go live.
Ding, ding, ding.
Gotta build up that YouTube
Where's your
channel.
bell sound, man?
Here.
There you go.
I
Nice.
should be saying that every time. Click the bell.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Coverbandcentral.com is the website. Go sign up for a profile for you, your band, or both. It is free. I already said that, I know. And if you have any questions, comments, or any topics you would like discussed on the Cover Band Central Wisdom Hour,
Send them this
Steve
way.
at coverbandcentral.com is how you can reach me or Tony. Should I give you a Cover Band Central email address? Do you want one?
Yeah, I might need that.
All right, I might have to give you one. What else? Somebody put up a yin
Yang.
yin
Yes.
yang, which I love because that is kind of what wisdom is.
Yes.
It is the yin and
And
the
it's
yang.
kind of like what we are, Steve, like yin and yang.
Yin and yang, yes.
Yes.
It is kind of that. Thank you guys for participating and watching and listening. Share this broadcast with people. Let people know. And come on back next week and we'll impart some more wisdom. Maybe. How did I do that again? What's the
Extra
outro?
bonus.